Happy New Year, and welcome to 2020. I am Becky Madujemu. It's a dawn of a new decade. Most people are optimistic about their dreams and ambitions. Some who have made resolutions will tell us why it's important to make vows to yourself for your own good, while others will explain why they can't be bothered. Then the festivities, wow, so much to present in this first edition of the year. It happened in many towns and cities. Cultural end-of-year festivities, carnivals, and parties. Every region in Nigeria had something big and entertaining to showcase. It's a powerful way to kickstart Newsline this year, and I urge you not to miss a second of this package. I'll pause for a bit for Elizabeth Omori to read the day's news. Happy New Year, Liz.
Happy New Year, Beck. It's nice to see you in 2020 and welcome to the news segment of the program. Let's begin with the presidency. President Muhammad Buhari has enjoined the incoming government in Guinea-Bissau to not only ensure inclusivity but also pursue genuine peace-building efforts towards uniting the country for sustainable growth and development. This was while granting audience to the president-elect of the troubled North African nation, Umaru Sissoko Embalo. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports.
Popularly referred to as the General, the President-elect of Guinea-Bissau, Umaru Sissoko Embalo, a former army chief, served as Prime Minister of the country between 2016 and 2018. The 47-year-old opposition candidate got elected in a second round of voting to beat another ex-Prime Minister in an election described as free, fair, and credible by the United Nations and other election observers. He is here to say thank you to President Muhammadu Buhari for Nigeria's tremendous support and assistance towards stabilizing his country and ensuring the success of the electoral process. Mr. Embalo, accompanied to the State House by Guinea-Bissau's Minister of Foreign Affairs, as well as that country's ambassador to Nigeria, solicited continued support to his incoming presidency, assuring President Buhari that he will not let the people down. What did the president tell you?
They give me good advice. You know, President Buhari is somebody who all of us we respect in Africa, and I keep his advice. Is why he's one of the first country I visit. We know President Buhari. We respect him a lot in Africa because he's a great man, gentleman, and Pan-Africanist is why I'm here. I am his son. So don't forget, President Buhari. I can't call him President Buhari. I already tell him, I'm going to still keep calling Baba.
The president told him that he has to be inclusive, basically, and has to pursue peace, that because without that, there will be no development for the country, and that the ultimate reason for becoming a head of state is to deliver development for your people.
The Republic of Guinea-Bissau, a country of less than 2 million people, has seen 9 coups or attempted coups since 1974. The incumbent president, Jose Mario Vaz, who crashed out of the election in the first round of voting, is the first head of state to carry out his term without being deposed.
The country has been in crisis for a long period of time. Mr. President has maintained a number of Nigerian troops there, and these Nigerian troops have maintained stability, and sometimes it looked as if it might tip over the edge, but they've maintained it. And then Mr. President was engaged throughout the process. First of all, you had legislative elections, and it looked as if those wouldn't take place, but it did. Mr. President authorized a significant sums of money for all the electoral kit, because at one time they said they couldn't hold those elections because they didn't have the materials and so forth. Mr. President provided resources for them, and so they had to go forward with that. He really shepherded them through the legislative elections. He sent me and the president of the ECOWAS Commission to Guinea-Bissau on about 4 or 5 occasions, to keep everybody calm, keep all the political parties calm, moving them forward, and they kept moving forward. And then right at the very end, at one stage, it looked as if these presidential elections wouldn't take place because the incumbent president fired the prime minister who was supposed to organize the elections. And again, it looked as if things would not work out. But, Mr. President was very engaged, and this is the result, peaceful elections at the end of the day.
The president-elect Umaru Embalo has formally invited the Nigerian leader to Bissau for his inauguration coming up on February 19, 2020. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Away from the visit, one person has become dead while two others sustained high degree of injuries as a result of the fire that gutted Akesa Market in Oyo Town, Oyo State. Lanre Belay reports that the whole market was destroyed in the inferno.
Goods and properties worth billions of naira were destroyed during the fire outbreak, which was said to have started around 2 a.m. The cause of the incident could not be ascertained, but some eyewitness attributed its cause to power spark.
We called the people from the Ibadan. They sent us the firefighter, and they tried a lot. Fire is so much. It's so much for people to quench. So they had fracture of the leg, as well as fracture of the femur. A case of head injury is being currently stabilized at State Hospital.
The Alaafin of Oyo, Lamidi Adeyemi III, described the disaster as unfortunate.
And totally everything has been lost. So we want to commiserate with the market men and women for the loss. It's irreparable. Only God can console them.
Two of the victims that sustained degrees of injuries have been referred to the University Teaching Hospital in Ibadan, while others are receiving treatment at the State Hospital in Oyo Town. Larry Bilayi, NTA News.
Still on fire, barely a few hours after tragedy struck popular Akesa Market in Oyo Town, another furniture area and shops of not less than 100 traders in Iyaganku, Ibadan, were razed by the midnight fire. Correspondent Femi Johnson reports.
24 hours ago, this place was a beehive of activities, as many do come here to purchase their furniture. Even some people were here not long before the fire incident to purchase furniture. However, the rest is now history. The place is completely burnt, as the midnight fire incident, which occurred, has completely rendered this place useless.
We have been here since 4:30. When we hear all these places are engulfed with fire, so we try to cool everywhere.
With me here is
Sisolani.
So how do you feel about this now?
It's too plenty. It's not okay at all. Not okay at all.
What will be the fate of 100 victims and over 400 million property that has been destroyed?
I was in my house this morning. I was called that fire burned everywhere. Now this is my two shop. Everything has gone. I don't know even what happened.
One government to help us because we don't know what to do. Everything here, our machine.
People in Oyo State, particularly residents, have been advised to be cautious of what they do this period of Harmattan.
So maybe through the high tension of electricity, that should be another main cause, or burning of disused refuse. That is why the time of Harmattan, you should not burn anything.
Government should please come to our aid. We have nobody to help us.
In Ibadan, Femi Johnson, NTA News.
And barely 24 hours after gas explosion incidents in Kaduna, another fire outbreak destroyed property worth millions of naira at a building housing offices and a bank along Amadu Bello Way, Kaduna. Mejama Adamu tells us more.
The cause of the fire outbreak cannot be ascertained, but it was suspected to be an electrical fault.
You can see all these deep freezers where the fire started from. So those deep freezers were on. And then when the light came in, when the power came in, I think there was some internal sparking or something like that.
However, the quick response of the Kaduna State Fire Service helped in containing the inferno from escalating.
Well, we are yet to ascertain the cause of the fire.
but as you can see, we are doing our best to make sure that we bring the fire under control.
No life was lost. The incident is coming barely 24 hours after gas explosion in Kaduna metropolis. In Kaduna, Maijama Adamu, NTA News.
Let's now talk security. The Inspector General of Police, IGP Mohammed Adamu, has placed police commands and formations nationwide on red alert. This proactive measure follows intelligence report that sequel to the recent killing of an Iranian general, some domestic interests are planning to embark on massive public disturbances and sabotage. A statement released by the Niger Police, consequently, zonal AIGs and command commissioners of police have been directed to ensure maximum surveillance and security of lives and property across the nation. The police commanders have been directed to ensure strategic deployments of both overt and covert police operatives to ensure adequate security and safety of lives. Foreigners, especially diplomats and diplomatic missions domiciled in Nigeria, as well as the protection of critical national assets. Meanwhile, the IGP has assured all Nigerians and foreigners residing in Nigeria of adequate security. He has equally warned all potential troublemakers to stay clear of the streets and territory of Nigeria. And still on security, troops of Operation Lafia Doli has rescued 461 people abducted in Jakana and Mainak along Maiduguri-Damaturu Road. A statement by the Nigerian Army Operations Media Coordinator Colonel Aminu Ilyasu indicates that 4 minors abducted by Boko Haram in 2015 were also rescued by troops at a checkpoint in Mobar local government area of the state. Similarly, 4 terrorists were killed when they attempted to infiltrate Madagali in Adamawa State. Several gun trucks and other ammunition were recovered from the counter-insurgency operation. Now, to boost troops' morale and enhance ongoing internal security operations across the country, the Nigerian Army is developing various infrastructures in Army barracks. The Defense correspondent Ismail Musa accompanied the Chief of Army Staff on an inspection of some of these projects in Maxwell Cantonment Headquarters, 3 Division, Nigerian Army, Jos Plateau State.
This 54 million litres integrated water project, with a dedicated treatment plant and power supply, is designed to address water shortage within and around Maxwell Kobe Cantonment Jos. The project is also part of the 3 divisions non-kinetic approach to win the hearts and minds of the people within its area of responsibility. Other projects inspected by the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tuku Buratai, include the 3 Division Medical Hospital, Ordnance Tailoring Factory, and the shooting range.
Of interest here is the dam that is under construction and is about to be completed. That will serve the water needs not only of the Barras community, but of the neighboring communities of the Barras, especially the host communities.
The routine operational visit is aimed at appraising the quality and scope of work. From 3 Division Nigerian Army Jos, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
Into humanitarian services towards complementing the federal government's efforts in alleviating the suffering of women, especially the less privileged. Nigeria's First Lady has donated food items to groups in Gombe State. Zara Umar Adamu tells us more.
Women groups, correctional centers, orphanage homes, and the less privileged benefited from the gesture of the wife of the president, Aishatu Muhammadu Buhari, aimed at improving their livelihood and giving them a sense of belonging. Wife of Gombe State Governor Asmau Muhammadi Inuayahaya distributed the items, which included 1,000 bags of rice, 600 cartons of pasta, and 300 jerrycans of 25 liters vegetable oil on behalf of the First Lady.
Very happy that the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria remembered Gombe State in this kind gesture. We really appreciate that and we're very grateful. We pray the Almighty will replenish her and increase her in good health and good leadership.
Women and youth are the core heart of the First Lady, Aisha Muhammadu Buhari. She deeply cares for the society and the members of the community.
Beneficiaries noted that the gesture will go a long way in reducing their suffering.
Inshallah, we will call all the 11 local government and the affiliated organization that is under Form 1 and then distribute it accordingly. Inshallah, it will reach the rest privilege by the grace of Allah.
I appreciate the wife of the president for this assistance that's rendered to us. Each local government will have representative of CAN. So we are going to distribute it through the local government chairperson.
The distribution exercise is in line with the First Lady's Future Assured program. Zara Umar Adam, NTA News.
To religious matters, the year is just starting, and for many there are lots of expectations for the year 2020. But for pilgrims from Taraba State, northeast Nigeria who are visiting Jerusalem, their expectations could not be any better, starting the year with a journey for spiritual growth. Ruth Aguele reports.
It's day one in the Holy Land. In anticipation and high spirits, these pilgrims have come to witness a life-changing experience. This spectacular view, they say, is a tip of the iceberg of all the places they will be visiting during their stay here. As they all look forward to the real moments to get first-hand information of the life of Jesus Christ here, prayers and orientation was first on the menu. The pilgrims were encouraged to take advantage of every opportunity during their stay in the Holy Land to get the desired miracles they seek.
So we must take this as an opportunity for being in the Holy Land to pray for ourselves, our families, and for the nation Nigeria and for our states.
I know I read in the Bible severally about different sites, but this time I'm going to see those sites again. And also, I'm going to now rekindle my spiritual life.
So our expectation is that when we see these things, our life will never remain the same.
This exercise is going to be a very rich one, fruitful one, that after this coming to Jerusalem, we'll have a different, not really different, but a continuation of our faith in Christ.
As the clock ticks, every moment counts, they say, in making this experience a memorable one for them. From Jerusalem, Ruth Aguela, NTA News.
Now to sports. Nigeria named as host of 2020 African Individual Chess Championship, and the countdown to the 2019 CAF Awards continues. Ayodeji Makinde has details on sports updates.
Nigeria's handball team will on Wednesday play a Tunisian top-flight club, Benicare, as part of its preparation towards the 2020 African Nations Cup, which begins on the 16th of this month in cities of Rads and Hammamet. The Nigerian team lost 22-29 on Saturday to their Moroccan counterparts in their first warm-up match put together by the Handball Federation of Nigeria to ensure good outing for them when hostilities begin. Nigeria will play in Group A alongside Angola, Gabon and Libya. The chess world governing body, FIDE, has given Nigeria the hosting rights for the 2020 African Individual Chess Championship in Lagos come May. This will be the second time Nigeria will host the tournament after the 2003 edition in Abuja. Although the Nigeria Chess Federation says the tournament will affect its annual chess challenge, it's welcomed the decision to award the hosting rights to Nigeria. In the meantime, Nigeria's cricket team has continued to intensify preparations for the International Cricket Council Under-19 World Cup in South Africa from January 17 to February 9 as the Junior Yellow Greens set to begin warm-up matches against formidable opponents on the 14th of this month. President, Nigeria Cricket Federation, Yahaya Okwenya, who spoke with NTA after the Federation's annual general meeting in Abuja Saturday, says with over 3 weeks of high-performance camping in South